Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pete's Epic Golf Podcast. Join golfer Pete as he interviews international and local golf experts and enthusiasts. Golfer Pete's guests are looking to share how his audience can improve their golf game by improving their mindset, skill set, and gear set. We ask our experts to share their practical tips on golf in one or more of these three core areas. Golfer Pete created his podcast as a resource for anyone who loves golf. Join Golfer Pete as he asks the questions we all need answers to in order to improve our golf game.
Hey, I want to welcome our viewers to the Pete's Epic Golf Podcast. And we got Plumber Mike on today. And so he's going to introduce himself in just a minute. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And you're going to hear a real special podcast today because you have Golfer Pete and you have Plumber Mike. Now, how many times do you have a golfer and a plumber together? Not very often. He's in his blue and I'm in my red. So we got both colors covered. So Mike, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are and who, just about a couple of seconds so they know who they're listeing to today and who you serve out there.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, this is Mike Dupree and who I serve right now is we serve, as far as the plumbing company goes, we serve people that are in need of a plumber for service type, any service type plumbing need. We're also into the remodeling. So if you have a remodeling job, we take care of those. And basically, any kind of whole house renovation or repipes, if your pipes are old, that's who we serve a lot of. And we also do some new construction. But that's what we do for a living right now.
Awesome. I know the first time we played golf, we were out at Pine Tree and it was a Must Ministry. No, it was a one-day member guest. It was Must Ministry.
Yeah, it was Must Ministry.
And so we got a chance to hang out and play some golf. And so tell our viewers, like, when you started golf years ago, why did you start playing golf?
Well, I started playing golf years ago, mainly because, I enjoyed it and, not to the point of where I was good and enjoyed it because I was good. I just enjoyed, nature and getting out on a golf course. And back when I started, golf courses weren't very crowded. So it was almost like I could get some alone time or not quiet time, but, it was just very pleasant. And, that's what I like to do a lot of back then.
That's pretty awesome. Now, through Dupree Plumbing, have any of your vendors ever taken you on golf trips, or has it all been fishing trips?
No, well, it's both golf and fishing.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Where have they taken? What kind of courses and places have you been able to visit?
Well, I've been very, very fortunate and very blessed in that arena for sure. Some of the more better known. I've been to Pebble Beach. I've been to the Kohler, Wisconsin, and played all those golf courses up there. And I've been to the Orlando. When's that tournament start? It was already started.
Like Bay Hill?
Yeah. The first stadium type course. It was like really hard.
Yeah. Oh, the TPC at Sawgrass.
Yes, TPC at Sawgrass.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you've seen the 17th hole.
Oh yeah.
There?
Good. I have several balls in that lake.
Well, I tell you, were they marked with Dupree Plumbing or were they just standard regular balls?
They were probably balls that somebody had given me that had their logo on.
Okay, good. Because we wouldn't want people fishing out a Dupree Plumbing ball. They think that you're not a professional golfer or something.
No, I was fortunate enough to be able to use good balls and hit those in the lake because the people that took us to these places, gave me a lot of balls, but if it was my ball, it would probably been a cut one.
Yeah. So what about there's a couple generations. Tell our viewers, I know it was your dad that started it and your mom. So share with them a little bit about the family and where you are now today.
Okay. My mom and dad started Dupree Plumbing Company back in 1958. And, that's what I've been doing. I've been with Dupree Plumbing Company, not since 1958, but since basically right when I got out of high school. My mother wanted me to go to college and my dad said, no, you're coming to work here. So, there wasn't much discussing it.
Yeah. Your dad won that argument.
But back in the day, we did a lot of new construction and grew at a pretty good rate, and everybody made a really good living. And that's what we're all after in this world is one of the things we're after, making a living and the best living you can make also without sacrificing other type things. But then I always worked as a plumber in the field, and I plumbed houses and enjoyed that a lot. That was another thing. It got me outside. It got me away from any type of office work, and which is not really me. But then somewhere along in the mid-90s, I think, is my father had a stroke. And so basically I kind of started running the company then. And that's when not because of me, because we really started to grow. We took on some builders that really did a lot of homes, and we're fortunate enough to get them. And back in those days, it wasn't as crazy as a business world is now. So we really did real well with those builders. And Josh, my son, he came on in the late 90s, early 2000s, and anywhere from kind of part-time to just like he did it. He worked during school, summertime from high school, etc. And I did the same thing. And so he came in, and basically when he came on, he did just like me. He was a plumber and worked in the field. And
did you have the same conversation where Kathy said, Josh, you go to college, and you were saying, no, follow me? No. Was there anything like that?
Kathy, my wife, said that she wanted, she would probably prefer to not be a family business, maybe because she's heard a lot of the bad things about family businesses. And I've seen some bad things, in family businesses, and in ours, I would call them, that's had its ups and downs, but we've stuck together as a family business. And right now I wouldn't trade it for anything. And my daughter actually worked there also in the forgive me on the dates, but after college, but she has since moved on because she's got 2 kids, and she wants to be a good mom and a good family influence.
And she did marketing for you guys too. Okay.
And we all did a lot of different things when we got in the office. Nobody, even though we might have had a title, it was like everybody did their thing, and we weren't all about titles. We were all about getting the job done. And so then I guess, finally my dad, although he was there, but he kind of wasn't running the company anymore. And then finally he retired and left it with me. And now Josh is that's my son. He's as my parents did, the ownership, kind of traded off. And so we're working in that direction now. And, Josh is taking, on doing more service. However, we're now at the point where, we're wanting to do a little of both, or maybe a lot of both, but, not at the, we want to keep it local, and we want to keep where, people know people. And, if they, get, it's not like they're dealing with a face and a name and not a number type. That's kind of our, future look at things,
Yeah. And when you look at it, the third year, Josh is the third generation, and I know Joe Lynn's working with them too. So tell our viewers out there, because in the plumbing business, I know just looking around town, you got your big corporate plumbers. So with you have, the family is involved in it. And what's the transition like? It's always challenging when you're moving to another generation and they're taking over. What is the challenges for yourself, and what's your role been over the last maybe year?
Well, I would say the biggest challenge is simply working through that. It's not that it's not something we're either one are regretting or not wanting to do. We both want to do it, and it's at times in here lately I've thought, well, here I'm going to put me out to pasture now, but and I'm going to be bored, but that's not the case. I'm helping with a lot of stuff, the transition, and we're also moving our location. We've owned 2 buildings, and in an effort to make it a smaller, more compact, and that kind of thing, we're selling the bigger building and moving into the smaller building. So, awesome. And that's not happened yet, but we're doing that. And so that's taking the move, as anybody knows, takes a lot of time.
Sure.
So,
oh yeah.
That's the other thing I'm doing.
It's kind of like leaner, meaner, because you know the old saying, bigger is not better.
Yeah.
And so, sometimes we think, well, I got to be this huge company, and really, you just have to have a company that everybody wants and desires, and that maybe that's not multi-state.
Yeah. And it's not. That's the biggest compliment in business that I've ever gotten is from more than one person is they love working for a family company, and that really encourages me and makes me feel like it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Because officially I would call us we're not business people, but we've hooked up with, plenty of good business people that can do some of the things that require, running a business, profitably. And, and I would also probably call me, sometimes I feel like I'm the smartest man in the world because I've made, mistakes, a lot of them, but I've learned from them and changed the way that we do things. And that whole thing Pete just mentioned about corporate, we want to stay away from the big corporate world. I know everybody's got to be incorporated as we are, but we want to keep it family oriented, and not corporately oriented. So, and I think we can do that very successfully and very good.
Well, I tell you, the colors, I see your trucks driving around town. They always capture my eye. So whoever kind of designed that, was that Emily back then?
I think Emily and Josh both kind of worked on the choices, and of course not that. And then, kind of, said yes or no to some things, and finally came out with the finished product.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm a big branding. I support it because when you're out and about and you see a Dupree truck, it's Dupree. It's not like, I wonder what that plumber truck is.
Yeah.
So that's, for Josh and Emily back then, that was a good thing putting that together. So were you able to help Josh in golf, or does he play another sport?
No, Josh does play some golf.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot. Josh has 5 kids.
Yeah, I tell you, you about the only thing you'll play there is putt and baseball.
Yeah.
So, because kids, I know the grandkids are playing baseball and stuff like that. But if you're traveling and doing with vendors and stuff, Pebble Beach and Whistling, Kohler and different places like PGA, the TPC, I think it's pretty good idea to start golf, because those are primo places. Our viewers will go, oh my gosh, I'd love to be playing Pebble.
Yeah.
And, vendors want to build the relationship with you. So going to a place like that makes a lot of sense.
Oh, yeah.
So I think Josh is going to become a better golfer in the future.
Yeah.
And you're going to be that. We kid about it. Sometimes I said Plumber Mike and Golfer Pete. So you're looking at Plumber Mike here, and I see a cartoon character in the works. So we'll let the marketing people figure that out. But so as we let you run, because I know we were squeezing you in today on a busy Thursday, but tell us what do you think when it comes to like the business environment today? Is it any different than it was 10 years ago, or what do you see the difference between the two?
I don't have to think about that very long to answer that. And the answer to that question is yes. It's a lot of difference. And in my opinion, it takes away productivity, and it takes away the society. The world has become a lot more litigious lately.
Yeah.
And so you got to make sure that you're covering all your bases, and that's hard to do.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why we're looking at smaller, more compact, just as to try to reduce all of the bad the bad things that happen or could happen from being a big company, and they will happen because they happened to us as we went along. But so, and not just, but it's not only, and I'm not just talking about taxes. I'm talking about government regulations and government do this and that, and then protecting yourself from the liability, and fender benders and everything else. So it used to be that bad. I don't think, and I think most people would agree with
I would agree with you 100% that the environment's more competitive. There's many more things going on. Even the last question is, as far as even like that, the building your team. So are you finding that there's less skilled labor out there in your estimation, or are you okay in that area?
I'm okay. I think I'm okay in that area. I really am. And maybe one of the reasons why maybe is we've been in business so long that people want to come to work, not just necessarily there, but they say, hey, if they hear some good things, like you get some good people, and we've had and do have some good people. And I really, my plumbing skills aren't like they used to be. My plumbing knowledge isn't either, but we have a lot of people that I go to ask questions, and know more than I do. So I'm going to say that I think we're pretty good there, and I don't see a problem or challenge with that.
So how can our viewers get a hold of Dupree Plumbing? What would be the best way?
Well, of course, we have a website, and you can contact us there, Dupree Plumbing Company, and or call us at 770-428-2291.
Awesome.
That's the best ways to get a hold of us now.
All right. We always ask our guests, because the best way to find the best guests is through our guests. So is there anybody in the Kennesaw area that has the same philosophy as you that would be a good guest on the Kennesaw or the Golf Epic podcast?
Yeah, I'm sure there is, you know, that I could, with a little thinking, I could definitely come up with some names. Yes.
All right. Well, we'll have somebody reach out to you to get that from you. And we want to thank you, Plumber Mike, for joining Golfer Pete on this podcast, because I know you're busy running things, and it's good to take a break and just share the family history. This is a third generation plumbing company here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking of a company, hey, always good to support family.
Family and local. That's what we want to do.
Yes. I love those two words. All right. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Golfer Pete.
Okay. All right.